I'm joined by Nick Morgan, recently published author of Power Cues, The Subtle Science of Leading Groups, Persuading Others, and Maximizing Your Personal Impact. Thank you for joining us, Nick.
Thank you.
So, one of the questions I often get is how to be more charismatic. Is charisma something that we're born with, or is it taught?
Most of us think that charisma is something you're born with. Certain Hollywood movie actors have it and the rest of us don't. But in fact, it turns out it's something you can train yourself to do. Charisma is really focus, and if you can learn to focus your emotions, then you can become more charismatic.
So, can you give a practical example? Say you're an executive preparing for an important meeting or a big presentation. How can you activate that emotional focus?
Well, let's say you know you're going into an important meeting where the stakes are very high. There's been bad news at the company, you have to share that bad news and then persuade everybody to move on past that. So you want to spend a few moments before the meeting focusing in on what the appropriate emotion is that you're trying to convey to that team or to that audience. And eliminate all the other mental chatter in your head. Eliminate the to-do list. Don't think about what's going to happen after the meeting or what's happened before the meeting. Just focus on the meeting. And that way you can be fully present and therefore charismatic in the room.
So is there a difference whether you're talking one-on-one or say in front of a crowd of more than 100 people at a big keynote?
One-on-one, you can afford to go for quieter emotions and for more thoughtful exchanges. When you have a large group, you need to go for big emotions. That's just the way we humans are. You get us together in a big group, we want to experience a lot of laughter, a lot of tears, a lot of excitement. That's what we need in a large group.
Okay. And what about the body language? You differentiate between both the tonality, the tone of the voice, but also the body language. How do they play in?
In terms of body language, if you think about every communication is two conversations. It's always the body language and the content. And the goal is to get across the content. We wouldn't worry about the body language if we didn't fear that it undercut the content on a regular basis. And that's what happens when you leave it to chance. When you don't think about your body language, you just walk in and let's say you're really cold because the meeting room happens to be very cold. And so you cross your arms like this because you're trying to warm yourself up. Everybody else in the room will read that as defensive body language. And so they'll get the wrong message. And so you don't want to leave it to chance. You want to be intentional about it. And so in order to have a good communication, you simply have to start with openness to the other people. You have to show that you can be open because that's the message they need to receive in order to listen to you. And so opening up your body language is the place to start. Once you're open, then you can connect and then you can start to share your message, whatever that is.
Great advice. Thank you, Nick. To learn more, please read Power Cues, published by Harvard Business Review Press.